Hello, I'm Scott Bulkey here with Richard Mayol ahead of his upcoming Fury 109 fight. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How you doing?
I'm doing good. And how are you feeling ahead of this fight? I know we're now on fight week.
I'm feeling great. Fight camp is done. All the hard work is done. All we're missing is making sure the weight's all right, losing some water weight, and in a few days we're back in the cage. So I'm feeling amazing.
And how much are you looking forward to getting back in there, showing what you can do and getting back into that win column?
I am really looking forward to that. And I've said it before, but I feel like I have a lot of skills that I still haven't gotten the chance to show in the octagon
Yeah.
and in the cage, and that's what I'm looking forward to. Getting in there, performing to the best of my ability, and ultimately getting the win, and even better, getting the finish if
And
possible.
and you can say you did unfortunately lose that undefeated streak last fight, but do you feel like you've not really shown you weren't given much time to showcase your ability? You weren't able to get in the fight. It was more just a you got caught clean and just fell.
And yeah, I feel like it was not a new experience because I lost before in amateur, but it
Yeah.
was a good experience in the sense that I learned a couple of lessons. I made some mistakes, and I took my notes. I see what I did, and I just made the adjustments and took some time off, make sure I was good, and I feel like I've leveled up since then a lot.
And what do you feel like your main strengths is in this fight? I know you're not going to give away the game plan, but what do you feel like the main strength is?
And honestly, whatever comes, honestly, everything. I'm ready to strike. I've seen his fights. He's a decent everywhere. Seems to really like to wrestle. He wants to take it to a mat. Let's do it. I'm willing to do that too. So it's gonna be a fun fight for sure. But it's a good stylistically matchup for both of us.
And do you feel like that you get this victory on this weekend, and that is you back on track for getting that call for the UFC? I know his last defeat was against Basinger, who's now signed to the UFC. Do you feel like this win puts you back in that potentially one fight away category?
Yeah, hopefully it puts me back in the conversation. Maybe who knows? Maybe I
Straight
get
in.
lucky and just with this one you get a call. But if not, I'm not really focused too much on that. I'm just focusing on
Yeah.
winning. But if not, one more and we go again. But my main focus right now is my opponent and getting through him.
And I know we're not underestimating your opponent, but if you can get out that fight squeaky clean, no injuries, when would you like to get back into the cage?
I would like to get back in the cage ASAP, but ASAP as in unless it's the UFC or something like that, that will
Yeah.
take a 1 day notice if I have to. But probably like 2 months, something like that. Recover from the wake up, take a little break from the camp, as in slow down the training. I never really take a break. I'm a
Yeah.
little crazy in the sense of I always train. So just slow down a little bit and get back in camp. So like 2 months will be ideal in a perfect world.
And how was the atmosphere for yourself during the time of the UFC in Miami? Because speaking to people from your gym, it just seemed like you got a lot more attention. You had athletes coming in and out. How was it for you?
Yeah, it was pretty exciting. I was like, hey, my idea, my last fight was, hey, I'll win this fight. Maybe they're coming to Miami. Maybe I get a shot in the card. But it went a different way, and that's fine. But yeah, it was exciting. It was exciting. I like when they come to Miami. The more they come, the feel like the higher my chances are.
And do you feel like with obviously the fight between Volk and just the whole card in general, it's gonna bring the UFC back over to Miami more often? Because you guys just had that feel about just not only the fights but the fight week as well.
What was the question? Excuse me.
Like, do you feel like the UFC is gonna come back to Miami more often?
I truly hope so. I feel like every time they do a card here is something really big, and the UFC world, MMA in general, but UFC world is growing a lot in Miami. No matter where you go, me and my friends, you have like a little cauliflower. Everybody recognizes it. Everybody knows about fights. Everybody knows about the biggest names in the sport. So I believe it is a good city to put events in, but it's something you'll see. I just hope they keep coming up to me.
And what is, like you're saying, you're not looking too far ahead. You are wanting to, if that UFC call up comes, then it comes. But after this, as long as you do get past him, we're not underestimating him, but if you do get past him, are you first things first looking for potentially a title eliminator potentially at Fury?
Not really. I was playing around because my teammate is the interim champ at my weight class, and I was like, I'm gonna call you after my fight, just messing around. But just a nice fight. I know he has the interim belt. Sam
Yeah.
Kilmer has the is the actual champion at 170, and so I wouldn't fight my friend. If they give me anybody, I'll take it.
I mean, you would get not only the belt of Fury, but you would get the belt at Miami Masters.
Of course, of course. I'll be really down. I'll be really down. But like I was saying, my friend is the
Yeah.
interim champ. So if somebody's gonna fight for that belt, it might be him unless he gets signed, which I really hope so. Victor Valenzuela. So yeah, it all
And
depends on what happens there.
And do you feel like this is the time for Miami Masters to just showcase your talent coming up? Obviously, you have you get back in the win column. You're there. You've got the interim champion at Fury. You've got Christina doing her thing over in LFA. You're just conquering the American regional scene just now.
Yeah, I feel like it's big opportunities that are coming for us, and we're putting our name even more out there. MMA Masters have been around for a really long time, but this is like the new wave, the new generation of really good professional fighters, and I plan on putting our name, my name, and the gym's name on the map big time. They have been on the map already forever,
Yeah,
but remember who we
and
are.
and it must be nice not having to go out and search for training partners. You're being able to have your variety at Miami.
100%, 100%. I have really, really good training partners, and I'm grateful for that because I know not every gym, usually when there's not a big gym, it's hard to get training partners. And I've always been blessed. I've always had a lot of training partners exactly in my weight class too.
And what are you doing to celebrate this victory?
Honestly, um, I'm pretty simple. I just go out to eat with my girlfriend, with my friends. I have some friends coming to Houston to support me. So I'll go out with them. We'll eat probably some pancakes, be
Yeah.
happy, get a little bit fat, eat some sugar, and relax and get back to work. This is just what we do. It's just another day. But
So
the
is
goal is doing exactly that after the fight.
is that the victory dish? Just a big bowl of
100%. I
pancakes.
always want pancakes. Pancakes.
And what do you normally get on your pancake? Is it just cover it in maple syrup or?
As sweet as it could get. Caramel, chocolate, maple syrup, just throw everything in there.
And what is it about the last couple of months that's kind of made you level up that game?
The lack of what?
What made you level up your training?
I believe what made me level up is not only that me and my team were always trying to check ourselves, see where the spots that we're making mistakes is at, and improve that. But also seeing my last fight, seeing a few little things that I did in that fight that made me pay the ultimate price because he capitalized right at the right time and making sure those things are covered.
Exactly. And do you feel like what has been the best place you've gone to so far for training?
For training, I don't really cross train since I have really good training partners, really good coaches. I only train at MMA Masters, and I'm gonna tell you that's the best place I've ever been to.
And do you feel like in the future you might want to go to like a place like Thailand or somewhere like that?
I see why people do it, the culture and stuff, and I find it pretty cool, but it doesn't interest me too much, honestly. I feel like, uh, thankfully, we have pretty good level everywhere. Our grappling coach is a savage. He just anybody who's ever rolled with him or seen what he's capable of doing understands that. Daniel Barberti, and our striking coach is amazing. He's super creative. He's super innovative, and he keeps us sharp all the time. Cesar Canedo. So not really, not really. I find it cool maybe for vacation or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but for training, it doesn't really. It's not like a goal that I have.
And how do you feel your division is so far in the UFC just now?
I believe it's really interesting right now. It's fun. It's fun what's happening. Jack Della showed up.
Yeah.
He did a really, really, really good job. He did a great job against Belal. He showed uh, his flowy striking style and how good he is on the ground, how good he's creating scrambles. And I'm excited to see how Islam and him match up. It's gonna be a really fun one, honestly.
And who do you have winning in that super fight?
At the beginning, I was 100% Islam, but the closer it gets, it makes me wonder a little bit. But it all depends on who's able to implement their game
Yeah.
plan better. Is Jack Della gonna be outside wrestler and not let him settle a position? Then I feel like if that happens, Islam will gas out, or will Islam just take control and take over from there? I feel like whatever happens in the first scrambling situations, the first takedowns, that's what will dictate what happens in the fight. Because I believe obviously Jack is better at boxing. He just does his role. But I don't know if it's what he started doing with Craig Jones or he just started implementing a new game plan. But what he did against Belal was completely different than Gilbert Burns. He looked free in there. He couldn't be held down. It was just
Yeah.
amazing.
And another fight that got announced recently was the Leon Edwards versus Prates fight. And I've been seeing a lot online just talking
Oh,
about
nice.
it's a terrible fight for Leon. Stylistically, it's awful. However, I feel like that is the type of fight Leon is wanting. He's not really wanting that
100%.
that wrestler type fighter. He's wanting just stand up there and just trade.
I feel like it's a good fight for the fans just because the way
Yeah,
they match up. Actually, where's gonna be that card? Is it gonna be in Brazil? Are they gonna go to Brazil or not really?
I don't think so. I think it's Madison Square Gardens.
Okay, okay, that makes more sense. I think it's a fun one. I don't think it's the worst matchup for Leon. He always does his best when he doesn't fight wrestlers. Wrestlers are
Yeah,
his kryptonite, and people put that grappling pace on him. Like in the past, he hasn't really done well against them. So I think Carlos Prates is on fire right now. If I had to put my money, I'd put it on Prates, but I don't think it's a bad matchup. I think it's actually a fun one because Leon will really control the range, the distance, and Prates is just vicious and creative at the same time. So I believe it's going to be a really good fight.
and Pratis kind of talked about this earlier before that fight got announced. He's kind of not followed through, but he was like he doesn't really see fighting at the top of the rankings like Ian Gary, Shavkat, why he is on the current contract he's on because he just has one fight left. He'd rather fight someone lower down the rankings, then renegotiate his contract, and then fight with the big
Oh,
ones.
Carlos?
Yeah, Carlos. He has since signed that deal with Leon, but he was talking about that before. What do you make of fighters? Do you
Mm,
feel like to fight at the top of the rankings, you should be paid that much? Or do you feel like if it gets that opportunity, just take it?
I Yeah, like as a fighter, you think opportunity take it, but being a smart person or
Yeah.
a smart fighter, whatever you want to call it, of course, there's levels. Like as the ranking gets higher, it gets harder, and then you're fighting even better killers. You get me? Leon was a former champ, so I agree with what he's saying. Even though he's a wild guy, for him to say something like that, it makes you see that he's actually not a completely wild guy. There's some wisdom in his madness.
And do you feel
So I agree. I agree with him.
And do you feel like the main difference between obviously fire pay has been that very controversial topic, but do you feel like the main reason the big gap is there is because in the regional scene you're not getting paid as much as what you would normally get if you were in the UFC. So when you get to that UFC, they can just give you that 20K, 20K contract. And it's because it's such that big gap between the two, you're just gonna take it.
Yeah, I believe that that plays a big factor. So for any fighter like me or anybody fighting regionally, it's it's a world difference. We basically pay to fight, even though
Yeah,
we're getting paid like at 1,000, 2,000, whatever it is.
your training camps.
Uh, yeah, we're basically paying to fight. Our training camps take out all the money that we get in the fight. So I believe probably one of the main factors, and also that the UFC runs the show. You get me? If the UFC is the only one running the show, nobody could say anything about it unless you have a big pool. Maybe Paddy Pimblett, somebody with a big following before getting in. but I understand it. But I understand what people are saying that the pay gap, but at the same time, I see why it happens. Like unless you bring something different to the table, it's hard to do anything about it.
And I think we kind of spoke about this last time, but is there anyone currently in those top 15 ranks that you would like to fight, just not for your debut, but just in down the line?
Everybody, all the top dogs, the 170 pound bracket is crazy right now. Marlon, what's it, Moraes, right?
Yeah.
MVP, even Jack. I feel like Jack is obviously because he's the champ. Everybody wants to fight the champ to be the champ, but I feel like that's a fun fight. I feel like if he fights a guy who could grapple him and keep the pace, like that's what I expect Islam to do. Keep the pace and at the same time not let him escape after a few scrambles. I feel like he could get a little bit exposed, and that's a fun one. That's a fun one. Obviously, fighting the champ.
And Jack and Islam, just make sure you keep that belt nice and warm for when Richard comes into that UFC. It's not going to be too much longer. Is there anything you'd like to
Yes,
add
sir.
or anyone you want to shout out?
I want to give a shout out to all my sponsors. And let me go real quick. Southwest Medical Center, and Chamamix, Jats, Vice Investments, Wildland Therapeutic, the different company, Rockaway. So all my sponsors, thank you so much. I want to thank my gym. Shout out to my gym, all my training partners, everybody who's helped me get to this point. And make sure you tune in next this Sunday, UFC, September 7th, UFC Fight Pass. It's gonna be fun. I'm like, do my best to put on a show and for sure give it my all to get the victory and the finish.
Exactly. Definitely got Fight of the Night written all over it. You guys do not want to miss it. Thank you so much.